Welcome to NuttieBuddie Sports. Previewing the Cincinnati Bengals.
So, Travis, what is your biggest question for your Cincinnati Bengals?
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. What do these things have in common, okay?
Okay.
Lou Bega, Mambo number 5, Ice Ice Baby. What are those?
One-hit wonders.
Yes. Are the Bengals just going to be a one-hit wonder is my biggest question. Was last year just a fluke? Was it all by chance that somehow they got to the Super Bowl? That's my question, but I have a lot of confidence going into this season, and hopefully it's not overconfidence, but I'm feeling really good about the Bengals. I really liked what they did this season, off season.
Travis, I love that setup. That was great. Ryan, do you have a good question? A big question for the Bengals.
I was trying to think of more one-hit wonders, I agree. Can they repeat their success of last year? I was just looking at their schedule. They have 5 primetime games. Can you remember the Bengals being on primetime 5 times? There was probably like 8 years where they weren't in primetime like once, other than like a Thursday night or something. So the whole league is going to be – they're going to know that the Bengals are good.
I didn't even know that they were on TV, Ryan. So.
I know. We'll see. Like, the whole league knows they're good now. It's not a secret. So when you lose that Super Bowl, teams don't usually fare well the following year, but we'll see. They don't usually have Joe Burrow either. So
that's fair. I was just looking up top 10 one-hit wonders.
There's a bunch. I looked them up, and a bunch of songs I don't even know. It's like before my time.
I got like My Sharona, Tainted Love. Those are Come On Eileen.
Soft Cell, yeah. And then
Tainted Love, Soft Cell. Okay.
Yeah.
Come On Eileen. You know who sang that?
I know they wore like overalls in the music video. I can't remember them though.
How about Take On Me? Do you know who sung that?
Take me on.
That one, yep.
What is their name? No, I can't remember.
Aha.
Aha.
Okay, I could go on and on. The Lion Sleeps Tonight. That was a one-hit wonder. Okay. That was fun. Yeah, and that's basically my same question. Is that are they for real? That's what I have. Is it for real? Okay. Favorite moves for the offseason, Travis. What are your favorite moves that the Bengals made this offseason?
They signed 2 offensive linemen, and that is two huge pieces that they needed. So they got Kappa from Tampa Bay and some guy who's a Patriot that's a good player for them. So I believe he was with Brady. So if he's with Brady, then he knows what he's doing. So
didn't they also get Landon Collins? Lionel Collins?
Lionel Collins, yep. Yeah. Yep. So that's one of the things that they desperately needed, because if you guys remember in the Super Bowl, if Burrow only had 2 more seconds, he would have had Chase for the game-winning TD.
Yeah, I know. Stafford would have drove it downfield and
whatever, Ryan.
win the game. You know it. How about you? How about you, Ryan? What do you got for your favorite move for the Bengals?
Yeah, they did beef up their line with some. It's usually who has the best fat guys a lot of time that wins, right? So they beefed up the line. They did draft Daxton Hill in the first round, safety from Michigan. I heard they kind of really like him already in camp, and Bates is playing on a tag this year, so I think they'll have some good safeties back there. So that was a good draft pick and to get Hill at the end of the first round.
Yeah, I'm with you though. Both as far as the offensive line goes, because like that was the thing that hurt. What was it last year or this past? Was it the year before or last year where he got sacked like 9 times against the Tennessee Titans in the playoffs? Was it
That
last
was
year?
this year.
Yeah, this past year. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so getting that offensive line fixed is huge for them. And I think they won those games despite their offensive line. So getting 3 good veteran offensive linemen, yeah, that's exactly what they needed. So
Well, they also beat the Chiefs because apparently the Patrick Mahomes doesn't know how to play offense in the second half of a football game. But
Luke has sort of a conspiracy theory on that. If you want to hear his conspiracy theory on it, you'll have to listen to our AFC South preview podcast. He mentioned a conspiracy theory, but I just think Mahomes was bored and he wanted to challenge himself and he got a little over his head. You know, I do that when I
fine.
play basketball against Travis. I get bored
Yeah.
sometimes, so I let him think he wins. So it's more challenging that way.
You do those Kobe fadeaways over him to just make it a little tougher on yourself.
Yeah. Behind the back, like between the legs, step back, stuff like that. Shoot from 30 feet from the basket. Yeah. Anyway, least favorite.
I had one more.
Okay, go ahead.
favorite
Go ahead.
move.
Go ahead.
So last year, I remember you guys were all questioning Zach Taylor and if he was going to be capable of actually being a decent head coach. And it turns out he was pretty good, pretty solid. I mean, he does have a couple high-ranked players here that he has that helps him, but they gave him a extension because he made it to the Super Bowl. So I thought that was good. I mean, he earned it basically. So
Yep. Well deserved. Yeah. Good coach. Good coach.
for now.
For now.
No comment.
No comments.
I was hard on Taylor last year. No comment.
Yeah. Just apologize. Okay, you ready to move on then? Okay, let's do it. Okay. Least favorite off-season move for the Bengals, Travis?
Well, they didn't get to keep Uzama. He's gone, which is kind of sad. I mean, he wasn't, the best tight end in the league, but he did have a couple really good games that helped them. So that was one of the moves that I didn't quite agree with. However, they did replace him with Hayden Hurst, which basically he disappeared because of who Atlanta drafted at tight end. So we'll see how he does for the team. But my other thing was I was hoping this isn't that big of a deal, but I was hoping that they would have taken a better guard in the draft, like higher up in the order, maybe a second or third round to help out. But I'm okay with it.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, Ryan? Your least favorite move for the
I didn't really notice one that I could pinpoint. I mean, Burrow did have an appendectomy that had to hurt, and he's had 2 surgeries in 2 years, Travis. So you got to be a little worried. He hasn't had an off season yet to get better. So he's already good. So just wait till he's healthy one off season. But that's all I got. He ruptured his appendix.
Yeah, bad move by the Bengals there to allow that to happen.
Agreed.
Take care of your players.
Come on now. I have just this is a small nitpick. Like I didn't find a lot either. Not signing Trey Hopkins. That was their best offensive lineman according to PFF last year, and how bad their offensive line was last year. Having all their good offensive linemen stick around would have been nice, but they sort of replaced him anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you could found a way to keep him, I think he's still a free agent. I couldn't find where he went, so he may end up back on the Bengals. I don't know, but that was like a nitpick that I found. Keep your offensive line was bad. You might as well keep the ones that were good around and just create a little bit of depth. But anyway, that ain't that big of a deal. Okay, ready to move on, guys? Okay, let's do it. What will make the Bengals season a success or failure, Travis?
It has to be a deep run into the playoffs. Anything short of that is going to be considered a failure after what they did last year. Even though last year we all thought that they're going to be an under 500 team. They're going to have one more year before they really took a run at it. But last year they made it. So.
Yeah, No, that's a good one. What about you, Ryan?
Well, I don't expect them to go back to the Super Bowl, but they would have to make it in the playoffs again and compete for the division because I think they are the favorites in the division. So I think Bengals fans would be disappointed if they, dropped off or fell back after because what did they go last year? 10-7 during the year.
Oh, I didn't even say that. Yeah, 10-7, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would expect an improvement on that. Maybe 11 or 12 wins would be considered successful. And then, like you say, it just depends who you play in the playoffs. Could they beat the Bills or Chiefs? They showed they could last year. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed. Again, I'm not big on like they got to get far in the playoffs. I just care who you lose to. Okay. So I have winning the division, and like if they go up against the Kansas City Chiefs in the second round of the playoffs and lose, and it's a close game, I'm not going to say that the Bengals season was a failure. Okay. I'm just not like that because I think the Chiefs are one of the few teams in the AFC that could get to the Super Bowl. The Bengals are, the Bills are. I have the Bills are my favorite as of right now, but so I'm not really big on, hey, they got to get to the championship game because like to me, like the Bills last year, right? Nobody but the Chiefs are going to beat them. Like any other team they probably beat, but it was the Chiefs. So you lose against the Chiefs, that's not that big of a deal. Anyway, so just winning the division and just making a strong playoff, showing will be good enough for me to think that their season's a success.
Yeah, for all their playoff wins that they had last year, it's not like they really dominated any of those games either.
Correct.
Like the Titans game was not, I mean, they were ahead most of the game, but you were worried that they're gonna blow it. And then the Chiefs game, I mean, they're behind most of that, I think the whole game, and then they finally won at the end. And then who else did they play? Who was the third team before the Super Bowl?
Was it the Raiders? Did they play the Raiders?
Yeah, the Raiders game was kind of, I mean, they were ahead most of that game, but it still wasn't even that high scoring of a game. So it's not like they're putting up huge points. So, but yeah, I'm with you, Ryan, that I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I just would like to see them get 1 or 2 wins in the playoffs is the main thing I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's interesting because with their playoff run last year, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have that collapse like they did. Like you wouldn't say that any of their competition was super hard last year, right? Like
Yeah.
other than the Chiefs. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's any other additional questions for the Bengals?
I think the question for me is when I look at their team throughout the playoffs, I kept saying, who are these guys on defense? Like, it seemed to me like they really overachieved on defense. Like, when I compare their defensive roster to like even the Browns with Garrett and some of the JOK on that D and some other guys, like DJ Reader was amazing in the playoffs last year, and he was just some cast out from the Texans. And Hendrickson played really good coming over from the Saints. Can they repeat that on defense? Because I know their offense is going to be great with Burrow and Chase, but I thought their defense really overachieved last year, which was a credit to their D coordinator. But even looking at their roster now in defense, I don't know who half these guys are, and I follow the division pretty closely. They play solid, so if they can keep that going on D, they could be really good again.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think Hendrickson is the real deal. I've always liked him, even on the Saints. He finally got playing time the last year with the Saints. So I don't know. I think he can still be good. And anyone coming, like I said before, from an incompetent organization, and you put him on a team that good coaching, whatever. So maybe that's why Reader didn't have a good year with the Texans. That's why I'm really big on the Kansas City Chiefs getting Justin Reed from the Texans, because that guy was really good his first 2 years, according to PFF, and then he had a down year last year. So I think that could be a steal for the Chiefs. But same goes for Reader. So yeah, I guess it'll be interesting, to see if the defense can keep it up.
Yeah, all their free agent guys hit, like Hendrickson hit, Mike Hilton hit coming from the Steelers, like Reader we talked about, Eli Apple a few years ago. So it's like every guy that they brought in kind of, and Von Bell was, I think, on the Saints previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of hit on all those guys.
Yeah. What do you think? You think your defense will be fine, Travis?
I'm with Ryan too. It's like you look at these guys, and I don't know these guys besides Hendrickson, really,
And Bates,
Apple,
right?
and
Bates.
yeah. But it's like they played amazing. I think their defense was the main question that we had last year. Was, are they going to be able to stop anybody? But excuse me. But my question now is Chase and Burrow gonna really like explode onto the scene even more like they did last year? I mean, they had a huge season last year, but I'm looking to see if Chase and Higgins are gonna really be this amazing 1-2 punch, because they got the talent, and I'm hoping Burrow's gonna be a top 5 QB in the league now after this year. That's my plan for him, and
that's hard because, like, okay, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Rodgers, Brady.
I know, but all he needed was a better offensive line. I know he can make the reads. It's just I'm you know what? Hot take alarm this one, Ryan. All right. He's gonna be a top 5 QB this season.
Who you think's gonna fall out? That's what I want to know. That's more hot takey.
I'm going Mahomes. He's falling out.
Oh my word! I am taking you off this podcast right now. Is what I'm gonna do. Mahomes? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
that's a nuclear take.
That is. I don't know if I'll have a sound effect for that.
Sound the alarm. Go in your bunker.
Travis, I saw Thaddeus Moss is still 4th-string tight end. Is this the year for him?
Man,
last year.
How can we get him to be?
Does Burrow just keep him on the team? That's his LSU buddy, and they're just like, yeah, you can keep Moss around.
I think, Hurst will be good for about 4 or 5 games, and then Sample will come in and blow his ankle out. And I don't know who Wilcox is, but he'll just never play, and Moss will be in there. So, yeah.
There you go.
Most improved player, Thaddeus Moss.
We'll see, I guess. We'll see. He's only 24. He's got his whole career ahead of him. Now's the time.
Right. That's right.
Okay, let's do our over-unders for the Bengals. I got 10 wins for them. What do you got, Travis? Over or under 10 wins?
Over. I'm going 12-5.
Okay. Ryan?
That's what I wrote down, 12-5.
Okay, I got over as well, but I got 11-6. I don't got 12-5. Still over, Travis. Still over. Thanks so much for watching this clip of NuttieBuddie Sports. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you'd like to listen to the rest of the podcast, click on one of the links down below. And if you want to give us your thoughts on any team in any division, let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys soon.